Hi guys, this is Wazza again, back to give you another installment on my Series 2 RX7. Today, seeing such a miserable rainy day here in Sydney, Australia, decided to start pulling out the motor. So basically it's not a super hard job to do, as long as you've got some of the basic tools, basic equipment, especially an engine hoist and a trolley jack. Your basic tools that you'll need: ring spanners, 10, 12, 14, 17 mil, same with your sockets. There's quite a few things you've got to make sure that you do before you try and rip the motor out. The main one being removing the tail shaft, which can be a bit stubborn. Another important thing you've got to look at is all your wiring, to make sure that you've undone all your wiring that's connected to your gearbox and your starter motor. If you start pulling those out, if you start pulling your engine out while they're still connected, it just gets all stuffed up. Your gear shifter, it has to come out. It's also good to pull your exhaust out if you can, otherwise it just gets in the way. So your exhaust comes off. As you can see, I've removed the Weber. It's always good to plug up any of the holes where your fuel ports, so that you don't get any muck inside them. I'm going to put some rags and cloth into the exhaust ports shortly once the motor's out. As you can see, I pulled off the alternator, the Gilmer drive. Basically it's just so get all the wiring out of the way so nothing snags when you're pulling it out. It's a fairly simple job to do. It's easier with two people, but I'm doing it by myself today. It's just a little bit fiddly getting in and out underneath the car, undoing bolts. Same as when you're pulling off things like your brake booster and your clutch master cylinder. As you can see, I've removed them. I'm about 100 kilos. I'm fairly big boy, and it's not much fun lying on your back with the seat out underneath all the pedals at the front of the car with your 14 mil and 12 mil spanner and sockets trying to undo the nuts from inside the car. It's a bit of a contortionist type job to do, but it's got to be done. Another thing I found when buying a car that sort of claimed to be 100% complete, but stuff comes in boxes, you get nasty little surprises. Things are missing, things are broken. It's a bit heartbreaking. Then you've got to go and start looking for stuff. And then you do get the odd surprise like this, which I found the other day. Yep, they keep popping up all over the place in this car, but I don't really mind that too much. Anyway, so I'm going to get stuck into pulling this motor out now. Of course, the other thing to do is always drain your gearbox oil, because once you remove the yoke from the back of the gearbox, which is part of your tail shaft, you put it on an angle, lifting it out, and all the oil's going to come out. So yeah, make sure you drain that. You drain all the fluids, your water out of your obviously your radiator, and also the oil out of your engine. Just makes it a bit cleaner and tidier later on. All right, I'm going to get stuck into this now. As you can see, still some fluids coming out of it, but it's not too bad. You just got to make sure when you're moving it around that you're not going to damage the front apron or anything like that, especially when you're swinging it around. So there you go, that's your little 12A and 5-speed, all pulled out. Once it's all undone, takes 5 minutes. Catch you next time, guys.